Every time I have to paint plaster rock castings, I end up procrastinating for a while before I actually do it. There are so many different techniques out there, but honestly just knowing you don't get any retries makes it intimidating. I mean, painting them isn't that hard, you just layer a few different brown acrylic washes and then finish with a black wash over everything. But it just feels like there's a lot of pressure to get it right. And filming a video about it adds even more pressure, because if it doesn't turn out great, the whole video kinda suffers. So in this video I want to show you what I do as practice before painting something important where I have to get it right. So click the like button and let's get started. First I want you to make yourself a few extra rock castings that you can use to practice on. Plaster castings absorb a lot of moisture, so the trick is to use acrylic paint diluted with water. Leopard spotting is the most common method used to color plaster castings, and that's a good starting point. If you don't know, with this technique you use some different shades of grey and brown to add some color variation to different parts of the rock, and then add a dark, almost black wash over everything to add contrast and bring out the details. Just before these I painted a few other ones and they turned out very grey, a bit too bluish grey for what I was going for. So I tested how it would look if I added a bit of yellow. When practicing, it's all about experimentation and learning how the outcome looks with different techniques. So, after practice painting these 3 rocks, I leave them to dry as I go do something completely different, with the results of how they turned out fresh in my memory. Unconsciously I keep thinking about it, and many times when I'm working on something like this and I go for a walk or do some chores or anything that's not related to it, I find that I suddenly get new ideas or think of a better method to do the thing. And then for me the important thing is to write it down right away, because I think I can recall it later, but my memory lets me down. So I like to just write down at least something that will allow me to get back in the same thought process. Along with the different brown colors I also add a bit of purple and yellow, and I will try to use it subtly. But I first spray the rocks with water. It will just make the paint flow a bit better instead of the plaster castings instantly absorbing all the moisture in the paint. It is possible to seal the rocks with some matte medium or something, but I actually prefer that the paint absorb quite a bit into the rocks, because when they accidentally scratch, the brown paint that's absorbed into the plaster will make it so the white plaster underneath won't show through right away. I apply the paint in small areas at a time and simply build it up in layers. The secret to getting good results isn't a specific technique. There are endless different ways to do this with endless color combinations. The secret to getting good results is to actually practice and learn from it. You can't expect to get good from only watching YouTube videos. Tutorials can give you new ideas and inspiration, but ultimately you should aim to spend less time consuming and more time creating. I hear so many people complaining that the hobby is too expensive. And if you look at new top-end locomotives, I agree, it's crazy expensive. But look at the school base I'm making, and it's all using DIY techniques. After letting the acrylics dry for a few hours, I wanted to try something I haven't tried before, and that's using an oil wash instead of an acrylic wash. I think oil washes work really well for terrain things like this. It can look overkill when it's wet, but when it dries it looks very nice. But I don't want to make this video too long. In next week's video I will continue with the DIY ground cover and maybe get started with the greenery. So go have fun, make something and enjoy the creative process. Thanks for watching.